Hello. That was pretty awkward. Filming yourself's pretty awkward. Here's some video journaling for myself. I've been thinking a lot about the difference between processing something on our own and thinking and feeling about it, and then how we express that to others or to ourselves on the camera. And when we explain something to someone, we're sort of doing our best to explain this entirely. Yeah, that was awkward. I feel like that person with it, whatever. When we explain something to someone, we're attempting to give this whole truly inexplicable context of things about how we came to those thoughts and feelings, because no one's ever going to know. No one is with us 24/7 besides ourselves, so when we talk to other people and we express something that we've been thinking about and dealing with and whatever in our processing, they have very little context, and their context is just their own experience and whatever process and whatever they're dealing with and processing, and not knowing the context for it. Like, someone potentially watching me talk about this has no idea, and that's okay, about all of the background thoughts and feelings that have led to me in this moment turning on my phone camera while strolling to video journal. And that's fine. And this will be received however someone will receive it, and they'll think and feel on it however they're going to. I feel like as an anxious over-explainer, I've spent a lot of time really wanting to force other people to get exactly where I'm coming from and be like, no, to be seen and heard and understood. Like, I have to have people know all the context of these thoughts that I'm thinking and how I got to them. And that shit's just unrealistic. And also, part of the fun, dare I say, in life is all of the unknowns, and is the fact that everyone's perspective is so different, and that we can't know other people's whatever, that we are all so biased by our own perspective, and then that's okay. Rather than running from our egos to get a little hippie rambly, just embracing, same as embracing whatever feelings come up, embracing that we're a human with an ego and with a biased perspective, and that everything is going to be seen through our own lens. And I've learned also to run rather than to walk away from people who say either A, that they're egoless, or B, that they have all of my answers, or that, like, we're the same person. Those are just two factually inaccurate things. So to address A, when someone says they're egoless, if anything, that makes me believe their ego to be even bigger. Like, okay, I can think of one scenario of maybe someone, like, in the middle of on some big life-changing spiritual trip on acid or some other psychedelic or mind-altering substance, and they're, like, temporarily detached from their ego. Although I'm guessing even then, and I haven't experienced that, so I don't know, I'm guessing even then they are aware that it's a temporary detachment, like, that it will come back, rather than the people who are like, I have permanently transcended my ego. And I'm like, that's bullshit. You're a human. By definition, you have an ego. Like, it's okay. It's okay. And then I think they're related, I guess, in that someone having an ego, and maybe the stronger that ego is, can lead people, and I've totally fell into this too, to be like, oh, I know someone else's answers. Like, I can tell someone else what their life is going to be like, or what they should be doing, or any of that sort of a stuff, which, as I ramble that out loud, is probably a way to avoid our own ego and dealing with figuring out our own answers to things. So I guess to somewhat circle back to the thoughts I started with of we can only know our own thoughts, and we're all just, like, getting attached to these stories in our head that then we want to share with other people that sometimes resonate, and sometimes they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and blah, blah, blah. to conclude a little is that all of this is me logically proving and reasoning to myself that I am my only guru and my only savior and my only whatever word you want to put in there, and that also means that everyone else is their only guru. So I can talk to people, and I've realized that the friendships that are really meaningful to me are the ones where we talk through how to help ourselves, rather than being like, oh, you need to do X, Y, and Z for your self-care, or do this or do that, or whatever it is. Whoa, friends, you ran by me before. Oh, they're matching. That's cute. They both have blue hats and green shirts and blue shorts. Aw, okay. Very funny to me. Laughing at myself. Rather than like having those relationships where people want to tell you what to do, the relationships where people want to support you in doing what is good for you and give you the space to talk through whatever that is, and to recognize that, okay, sure, there's similarities, like having some sort of movement and eating whole foods and, you know, getting sleep and connecting with people. Like, there are things that everyone needs. So it's not like everyone is a completely unique snowflake, and also everyone's a completely unique snowflake. So the different, I guess, different ratios of different self-care things people need. Ooh, okay, and then just to get more rambly, because it feels good to video journal out, is that this is definitely part of my transition from that angry vegan, which I think is an inevitable thing when you learn about factory farming, at least in my experience and in people I've talked to. Transitioning from that to someone who is plant-based and truly like accepting of people who want to eat animal products. If you want to eat factory farm things, I have no acceptance of that. I mean, I accept that you're doing it and that we've all done and do things that are harmful to other people because they're harmful to the environment. Factory farming is very not hyperbolically, it is an animal holocaust, like just statistically. That doesn't mean eating animals makes someone a bad person. There's definitely ways to source local animal products that, yes, you are killing an animal or eating eggs or whatever it is. It's just to put all eggs in the same basket or to put all pieces of cow in the same thing is just silly. It's just silly. And while I do think, again, with like common themes, that humans thrive on eating mostly whole plant foods, what percentage, again, what ratio that is for different people is going to be different. Food's a very helpful lens for this sort of stuff. So like there are themes, but then it's different. So maybe one person does well eating 100% plants. Maybe someone else does well eating 90% or 80% or whatever number it is. I have no idea. That's what works for them. And also that's what's working for them right now. Like it will be different, I'm sure, in the future, what they want to do. The same way of like people eating super high carb or super high fat or high protein or whatever it is, like it's going to be different for different people, and it's going to be different for each person throughout the course of their life. So to extend that food metaphor to self-care in general, people's self-care and taking care of themselves practices is going to be different, which, coming back to guiding each other to what's working for us right now, rather than being like, this is what's going to work for you and this is what's going to work for you forever. And then circling back once more to how do we get across things that we're thinking about a lot in our head in a way that is digestible and accessible to someone else who's not sitting with us all the time and has no idea of the context of all these things that we're thinking of, because, well, these things all seem like connected to me. I can only guess that to someone else, well, maybe they seem loosely connected, like they don't seem all on the same theme as much. Like maybe you're like, oh, this is all interesting, but you're all over the place, Annie, and that's totally valid. That's totally valid. Maybe you are, because you're thinking similar things. So maybe you're like, oh my God, these are so many things I've been thinking about, and blah, blah, blah. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. Regardless, it was some good therapeutic video journaling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being you.